the folk club was on Sunday night, and the workshop was on Monday. And then you'd have a workshop for the group you were in for the folk club. And then you'd be doing 1 or 2 performances with Banner. And then I also sang with Charlie and John Wrench. We were doing anti-racist sort of collections of songs. I remember doing a gig with them at the university. So basically, we were out 7 nights a week performing.
Make one. Equal Opportunities Commission, spring 1981. 81% of part-time workers are women. 2 in 5 of all women workers work part-time.
So you want a part-time job, you're caught up in the money. Well, can you work at night? There's openings for bunny girls fast up here and there. Petrol pump, the tenant's office, cleaning stuff, or something more essential. If you have lots of friends who buy the latest trends, you can try to find the range of clothes and jewelry, even calling too. That depends on you, commission you must prove. You may end up in bankruptcy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the job that gives you the pay to keep alive, and house to suit your family. Work for long. Then there's always twilight shift to buy us little extras, night assembly work for big and small and extras. Grab from 6 till 10, 80p an hour. The hut's a little less, and first your hands are small. If you have a cold, you can work as well. Our triggers will learn to help the marriage woman. But you'll work it much more, you'll have to work all day. Pass the time away, addressing man's envelopes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the job that gives you the pay to keep alive, and house to suit your family. What will all be done? If you need some exercise, here's the best solution. Out in the open air, it's leaflet distribution. You can choose the hour, afternoon or morning. You'll have to risk the showers, the gifts and little morning. What's it best to be along with my lady? You must be 63, the waiting list is launching. Then we'll have school bills, that would be ideal. There's a snagger bill, there's never any vacancies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt the job that gives you the pay to keep alive, and house to suit your family. What for holding on?
Over half the women employed in the manufacturing industries work in the food, drink and tobacco industry, electrical engineering, textiles, clothing and footwear. These are the areas where the current recession is having its greatest effect.
I think the form works because it's great that, I enjoy writing songs with Dave on issues, but none of them make sense unless I see the actuality first. So the fact that we've recorded someone delivering a message about what they've been through and how the way they see the world and how the way it really is great for me, because I can then absorb that information and use it in the song. Do you know what I mean? So it makes sense to me. So everything is on stage is related. It took me a while to get into it, to be honest. The first few shows, I didn't know where I belonged. And there have been times when I didn't know where I belonged in Banner, because you write a fantastic song, it's like 4 minutes long, and then you have to break it up in sections, and then you have to wait for this, and then you have to fire up it again, and then the energy, and then it's gone. So sometimes it's difficult to do that for me on stage, because I like to see a song all the way through. But so I do find that sometimes it jars with me. Only because we have to show the actuality, because it makes sense to the show. It's asylum seekers' words, refugees' words, teachers' words. This is what's really happening, not what we think's happening, but this is what's really happening. So it needs to be said. But when I've got this chord and I just played it and I'm fired up for the next thing, and then it's, it was difficult at first. Yeah. So.
In Corby, Mr. McDermott. I thought Stewart's and Lloyd's was a Scottish company. What's wrong with their own country?
You disappoint me, Mr. Norman. I thought the Bank of England would have jumped at the chance of investing in,
Well, such a profitable enterprise. Northamptonshire has vast reserves of iron ore, and I'm planning to build a modern, integrated works bang on top of it. Don't tell me the Bank of England has lost its taste for free enterprise.
Mr. McDermott, if you and your fellow owners in the steel industry had been practicing free enterprise, the industry wouldn't be on its knees as it is at the moment. Do you realise how much money we've invested in the steel industry over the past few years? Well, we intend to get a good return on it.
All the more reason to back that plan.
I want a good return on my whole investment, not just one plant. You don't seriously expect me to back a scheme which could put half my other interests out of business, do you? The Brassett scheme, Mr. McDermott.
I've read it.
Well, you realise that what the Bank of England requires is a complete reorganisation of the steel industry. 5 major plants representing the 5 major steel-producing areas of the country. And that means rationalisations and mergers. Get me a few of those, then I'll back you.
The owners will never rationalise, and you know it. It'll take you years to get them reorganised. I want to move now.
I can't let you.
You can't stop me. I'll raise the money on the strength of these.
Not in the city. There'll be no doors open there if I give the thumbs down.
Then I'll go abroad. I've contacts in Germany and the USA.
You risk a naked fight on this.
I'll get support once I've started.
Oh, we better talk about it. You're in tubes, right? Stick to tubes. No trespassing. I don't want my other interests upset. We might be able to work something out. Well, you won't need that or that because you won't be selling plates. So with the reduced output, you won't need that furnace or those coke ovens there. That's
No.
not feasible. I could find something like that.
It's a single product plant. It's a big limitation. And it's not Brassett.
It's your choice. Which will cost you more, fighting me or your loss of potential sales?
Agreed.
Pleasure doing business with you, Mr. McDermott. Get me a few copies of the revised plan. I'll want Brassett to supervise the construction and running in of the plant. There'll be no problem with the finance.
I think that kind of approach to what we were doing is quite important, really. You know, like you get out there and do it, and it's a very different approach to the theatre types that we were never really part of. I think I felt that all the way through Banners. We'd never really been part of the theatre thing. And the whole folk club ethos is very different. It's like the stage is almost not there in a folk club. It's kind of, you could be sitting in the audience one minute and sitting on the stage the next, and the floor singer performer relationship is very kind of integral to that. There's an anathema, a whole thing about no microphones, no kind of technology. It's a room. The kind of the session, Irish session thing where musicians are in a circle. That kind of ethos, I think, it's really been important to what Banner does. It's breaking down a lot of the fourth wall stuff in terms of theatre.
From Jamaica and Asia to the land of liberty, to the golden gates of England, to support their families. Instead of milk and honey, all they got was prison ride. Too much pressure, prejudice and pride. Working in the welfare state. Well, they landed in the jobs that the white folk didn't want to do, yeah. They were scrubbing down their floors and spitting out their loot. Too much pressure, that's right. Too much pressure right now. stay to build a home. They stayed through the 8 years, made this land their own. Their kids grew strong and they had very different skin. It's too much pressure, blocking off their dreams. Too much pressure, too much pressure, oh, too much pressure. That's right down to too much pressure.
In 1939, my dad came here looking for digs and people opening up the windows and pouring boiling hot water down on his head. I mean, that was a normal thing for black people. So as well as that physical scar, that mental scar is still there.
Burn, baby, burn, baby, burn. The sky is alight. Justice now. We demand our rights. They're walking from the shadows and they're walking out into the dark. The black and the British, and we're here to stay. Too much pressure, too much pressure, yeah. And too much pressure, too much pressure. I told my father, a fireman I would be. This job I can do for our community. My father, he smiled, and then he shook his head. He said, there ain't no black son working in the red. Too much pressure, too much pressure, too much pressure, too much pressure, too much pressure.
And so this toilet was one of the props, and Bob Etheridge, as well as being the master of ceremonies, dressed in a white boiler suit and what have you, and a bit of a character that used to come in, a bit of a link between the different scenes. He would, at certain points, he'd sit on the toilet, be in the seat of power, and my job as King Conroy was to try and come up with a magic formula to get him off the seat of power. Basically, to conjure up, it was the spirit of 72. Then we knew just what to do. What was it? Send the bosses to their fate. Give them a dose of Saltley Gate.